What's good, y'all? It's your boy Epiphany the Beast, and welcome to ETBHOOPS. I know I've been gone for a couple days, but I'm going to be back posting my daily content. This video, if you haven't already read the title or read the description or saw the thumbnail, this is going to be on the Rich Paul rule. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first, I'm going to start by actually describing the NCAA's official ruling, and it's not actually called the Rich Paul rule. That was a name that was quoted by LeBron James and his opinion on the rule, but this actual NCAA's ruling. Actual rule is anyone seeking to represent a college player must meet 3 criteria. That is, the agent must pass an in-person exam taken in November at the NCAA offices in Indianapolis. They must be certified by the NBA Players Association for at least 3 years and must have a bachelor's degree. So obviously this degree is targeted at Rich Paul. That's why LeBron James made his comment as soon as NCAA broke the news on their new requirements. If you all don't know who Rich Paul is, I actually have a video on Rich Paul. It's tied in with the NBA offseason updates, but Rich Paul is an agent for some of the top players in the league, including LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Ben Simmons, newly drafted rookies, Darius Bazley, Darius Garland, Kevin Porter Jr. It goes on and on. He's one of the top guys in the league, and I feel like with a lot of noise that he made this offseason, you have Anthony Davis going to LA, Ben Simmons getting his Supermax deal. A lot of these players who were drafted this year are being represented by Rich Paul, not Chris Paul. A lot of people were saying the NCAA is again trying to make money off their players and trying to keep a lot of money within the system. So a lot of up-and-coming entrepreneurs and up-and-coming young agents, up-and-coming young people who don't have the credentials, quote unquote, a bachelor's degree, are now have to go back, get their bachelor's degree, and fulfill all these other unnecessary requirements within the league that they didn't have to be a required agent before that. They have to go ahead and do all these things to now be able to represent players that they feel more associated with. Well, I saw another important note. A player could, when choosing an agent, he could choosing who he feels most comfortable with. It could be who could have about 30 years of experience within the NBA Players Association, but he could have absolutely no connection with the actual player or not know where his background's from or what his play style is like, or even watch any sort of game film within the player. Or it could be a player that has 2 years of experience within the NBA Players Association, but he knows the player, knows his family, knows his game style, knows who he actually is as a person because maybe he's grown up with the player. And now that player is probably going to feel more suited to sign with that 2-year player. Although this player might have more experience, he feels more connected, it feels more comfortable signing with that player. Back to the Rich Paul situation. Rich Paul has just done a lot for players within the league, and him being an African-American male, I feel like he was targeted by the NCAA. He was able to get Darius Bazley, a player who just got drafted by Oklahoma City Thunder this year. He decided to forego college, and Darius Bazley got him Rich Paul got him a deal with New Balance that was able to get him $1 million deal with New Balance, and he was able to sign his own shoe and then get an internship within the company. So in my opinion, he profited off of that. He was only going to do 1 year wherever he went, and now he was able to get some money under his belt, get him a signature shoe, understand the business behind these marketing companies and these shoe deals and whatnot. He won the first rounds. There's a lot of kids who are looking up to Rich Paul and saying, okay, that's what I want to be. I really want to be a top agent within the league, and the NCAA feels like he has too much power. And this can also be tied back into what Zion Williamson said. Playing at Duke this year, he wasn't able to make any money off of his name, but any brand or any outside company could slap his name onto something and go ahead and sell it, and he's not making any percent of what they're making. So NCAA is just grasping for air, just grasping. They need to focus more on keeping these players, because now players are foregoing going to college and just go ahead getting ready with training camps. There's another player, I don't know if y'all heard about him, he's kind of slept on, but his name is Marjan Beauchamp. I think he's in the class of 2021. He decided not to go to college. He's signed with some agency, I think it's in Toronto, Canada, and they're just going to work him out and get him prepared for the league. He's going to go in the first round. LaMelo Ball also not going to college. I don't even know what the whole discrepancy is with them, but they could have made millions of dollars off LaMelo Ball. He's an absolute marketing man in himself, and he's going ahead and playing overseas. RJ Hampton, who we've heard about, and then more and more players are going to follow in those footsteps as well. These players can sign, like RJ Hampton did. These players can sign these terrific deals. They can get with agents who really understand them, can help them really thrive as an individual who decides to forego college and still make money without wasting their time at a university. I'm also going to speak on what Chris Broussard said. Chris Broussard, if you don't know who that is, he's an ESPN reporter, very famous, very popular. He made a comment saying that this was a race-driven thing and that African-American athletes need to go ahead and take our talents back to HBCUs. Now, although that money does go towards the NCAA, like let's say they go into March Madness, their money will be profited off of the NCAA, but it is a better alternative than players going to these big universities powered by people who aren't the same skin color as us, whereas they can represent their HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, and put money back into the organization, and that money goes right back into the students. Be more money towards scholarships. It helps lower income families kids who never thought they could go to college, now there's so much money being pumped into this organization and this university. Now these kids have an opportunity to go to college for free. You go to the league, donate money back to that organization. We run the league, you know, us as people of color, and I don't want to make this channel a color thing, or, you know, I respect everyone, but, you know, we make so much money off the NBA, or the NBA makes so much money off of us, is what I meant to say, that, you know, you go to the league, that school has such a huge endowment now because you're going and playing at these HBCUs, and it just makes it more competitive because there's not a lot of HBCUs, but there's tons of talent coming into the league. Jay Bilas said the same thing. This is a race-oriented thing as well, you know. We African-American players are being targeted. African-American agents are being targeted as well. Another point was made by Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. I watched their YouTube show, and Skip Bayless was making a point that there was a player back in the day, there was an agent back in the day who was signing all these guys, had absolutely no credentials, but he was signing all the big name free agents, a white guy. But now all of a sudden, Rich Paul's coming into the league. He's telling LeBron James to do this and that. He's sending AD here. He's getting this person paid. He's getting this kid internship. He's getting paid and whatnot. He's representing all these athletes that the NBA thought they had control over. And now a new rule being made specifically for this player. You know, the NCAA, they want their organization that they have hired of skilled individuals, which are really rich white guys who have bachelor's degrees and master's degrees and the players to go ahead and sign with them instead of signing with, like I said, those players who might have better connections and might have a better relationship with those players. They want to keep it all flowing, keep the system going. Another side story I'm going to bring up is, if for all y'all, either you're on YouTube or you're on Instagram, Destroying, if you're following him, I know y'all understand his story. He was, if you don't, he was a UCF football player who was making a lot of money on YouTube at the time. Some of the videos were on campus. I know primarily he was on campus and he was a student on the football team. And one of the rules with the NCAA was that you cannot make money off of your own personal brand, which sounds absolutely ridiculous now that you know, we say it now and we know how many people make money off their own personal brand. But he couldn't make money off his personal brand, so they gave him one or two options. They said he can either take all the videos down that show his face, which is pretty much take his channel down, or he could take his channel down. That was his only two options. He could do that and continue to play in the organization. He could keep his channel. He couldn't play football. But anyway, he chose to keep his channel. He chose to keep his channel over foregoing his NCAA career. And he was a kicker. He was a kicker, punter. I think he could do both. A super good athlete. He could really play wide receiver. You know, y'all seen his videos. Go look him up. Destroying. He foregoed his NCAA eligibility. Lived off campus and finished up his career, and now he's just trying to just making it. But he could build his personal brand up, and now he's a super big. And now the NCAA, you know, years later, they made a new rule saying now players can go ahead and make some money off their personal brand. It's just, you know, the NCAA is just grasping for air. You know, they're losing players. Yeah, players are now finding other ways to make money off their personal brand. They are targeting people like Rich Pauls out there. So for all my young Rich Paul, y'all keep going, y'all keep hustling, man. People are saying that this will only last for about a year. Who knows? NCAA is gonna, you know, realize how stupid this is. You know, that's the best way to put it, how stupid this rule really is. And I'm gonna relate this to me, you know, ETBHOOPS, or if you all follow me on Instagram, go ahead. If you don't, go ahead, follow me at Epiphany of the Beast. I want to build ETBHOOPS into a sports agency, sign players who I feel like are coming up in high school players. I see a lot of young talent. I live in Atlanta, so I've seen Sharif Cooper before he blew up. I've seen Isaac Okoro, Anthony Edwards, all these young stars, BJ Boston, all these young stars. I've seen them grow grow within their organization and within their schools. So you know, that's what I want to build for ETB Hoops. So, you know, I know when I get to higher levels and higher rankings that there are going to be rules in place that I'm going to have to, you know, sidestep my way or find another way in and build my connections as well. So for all my young entrepreneurs out there, all my young agents out there, you know, just keep grinding, keep striving, and if there's a will, there's a way. But that's going to be the end for this video. Make sure y'all leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for post notifications, share this video with your friends, and I'm out. Peace.